Hello, welcome to Flower Juice. My name's John McDonald, and today we're going to make a bouquet arrangement, basically a hand-tied bouquet but put into a vase. And my inspiration for today is really these beautiful flowers. Now, we have a local market here and you can buy all sorts of flowers that are garden grown, and it's really cute. Basically, they make these little bunches and they're really sweet. So in a way, yes, some of these flowers are you can get commercially, but these are locally grown. So like these lovely little asters, they're so cute. I did get a little bunch of roses. I've got a little bit of honesty because I think this is quite nice in combination. And just to add to that garden look, I've actually collected a little bit of foliage from the garden as well. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to just lay everything out and see what we've got. Now the other thing that I would do first is I would just go through everything and make sure that all the stems are clean. So what we're looking to do is basically remove any leaves that are lower down. And the reason for that is that the leaves will go into the water and they will basically make the water go off. So first of all, we're just going to clean and separate our material. And this also gives us an opportunity to see what we have, that there's nothing damaged, there's no problems. And there's no point in putting flowers into a bouquet when the stem is broken and the flowers aren't going to be able to get any water, because then they're just going to die anyway. But this also gives me, especially when you're buying like mixed bunches, it gives me an opportunity to see what I've actually got. So what has been included, like these little flowers, these leaves, these ferns, which are quite cute. That one's a little bit sad though, so we'll just give him a miss. And sometimes with stems you want to take off these, even though it's a little flower, it's just not going to work if it's low down. But any leaves that are starting to go brown we can take off, because they're just essentially going to rot in the bouquet. So this is going to be quite a full garden bouquet. And really a celebration of kind of like these summer flowers, which I love. So as I say, these little bunches they sell, they're a really good price. They're about £2 a bunch. And it's nice to actually know that you're buying off someone local, and that they're actually going to get a little bit of something for it as well, which is good. And they're really happy because you're buying their flowers. So this is some phlox. These are little asters. We've got some little roses, as I say. I have got one or two little flowers left from another bunch that I had. So I've got one lily, which might as well go in, a little bit of pistache, and a little bit of gerbera as well. So everything's laid out, everything's been sorted out. We just need to put it together. So what I'm looking for is what would go in the middle. What would be the bushy aspect in the center? And that would be this pistache and this gerbera. So I'm just using my hand really to support the flowers. And this is going to act a bit like a vase. And we can thread things in. Now we've got lots of videos on our channel that show you how to make hand ties. So I'm not going to overly explain this one. But what we're essentially doing is we're creating a spiral effect with the stems, and that is going to create the mechanic that holds the flowers up. So when we say a mechanic could be something like floral foam or moss or chicken wire. The mechanic is the thing that creates the support. So that is what we're looking for. Now, I quite like the idea of the little bit of honesty. I think it just creates a little bit of a contrast. We might find that this one's a little bit big, so take it down. So I don't want to be overly fancy with this. I want it to be quite random. think if you're wanting, well, if you work in a flower shop and you're making a lot of commercial bouquets, you're tending to make them with quite a set way of doing it. So they tend to become quite consistent, and you tend to follow like a layout within the bouquet. And to try and make something that's more random actually can become quite difficult. So really, in some ways, I would suggest, if that's the case, is just put it together quickly, and then that will help keep it random. But I am still looking for moving those colours around, making sure that they're equally spread. And they're not too perfectly arranged, if that makes sense. Now, I did say we're going to pop this little lily in. Now, he will open up, which is great. Also going to bring in a little bit of hosta leaves. So I think this is the type of thing that will make an arrangement look much more informal and natural, is the fact of bringing in like a bit of garden material, and just keeping it quite varied. So with the spiral technique, we can add in flowers into an area that we think we want them. I don't really want to be left with flowers. We want this to be a bit of a celebration of our flowers here. Yeah, that's looking pretty cool. And I think we'll bring in a little bit more of this phlox into the centre. So really, it's that contrast between colours makes a big difference. So just from buying 3 of these little bunches and then a few little bits that I had and a few pieces from the garden, we've actually been able to make quite a large bouquet. So as I say, I'm going to put this into a container, and then you might be thinking, well, why did you bother hand tying it? Well, the benefit of that is that we can easily change the water in the container. Because it's all secured in one place, then it's easy to lift the bouquet out of the container, do a water change, and then place it back, and everything is still exactly as you had it. Now I'm just using some natural cotton basically to tie this off. So I've just gone around the stems a few times. If you're putting it into a container where you're really going to see it, you can make a little bit of a feature of how you tie it. But this one, I'm just going to put into a ceramic. So just as we have an advantage by tying the bouquet, then we also have an advantage of using a ceramic. And the advantage of that is that basically you don't see if the water is dirty. You don't see any mess. Now, I'm just going to cut the stems. The easiest way to cut the stems, just bring them together with your hand and just go straight across. You can then come in and do some angled cuts as well if you want. But the main thing is to get a good cut. And that, really, I think I want to go a little bit shorter. always amazing just how high up they sit in a vase. There we go. So there we have it. We've got a real celebration of summer. We've got some beautiful asters, some beautiful phlox, brought together with some nice, interesting foliage, a little highlight with the honesty just to create a contrast, and lots of texture, and just a nice summer feel. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video. I hope I've inspired you to maybe have a go and create your own arrangement of flowers. So even if that's a case of just buying a couple of bunches and putting them together with some bits and bobs that you've got in your own garden, then create your own look, your own style, and just enjoy the process. So we've got new videos every week. If you've not already subscribed, we'd love you to subscribe, to like the video, or even share the video. That really helps our channel. If you want to support us a little bit more, our PayPal details are in the description. And if you're up for a little bit more inspiration, then have a look in the description and we'll post a link to one of our other videos that you can watch now as well. So thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you soon.